7, 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, 1, 0.
Women's Wrestling Talk, the #1 women's wrestling network on the planet.
It is Wednesday, and you already know what that means. It is Timeless Elite Wednesday with your PR princess, your Timeless Elite, Stone Cold Courtney, whatever you want to call me on this Wednesday edition for AEW Dynamite. I'm just waiting for the Big Bang Theory to end, but we do have a very stacked card as we're on the road to Forbidden Door. We have a pit stop in Richmond, Virginia, and we already know what's going to kick off Dynamite. MJF versus Roosh. And they're not waiting this too long because they're showing the footage from earlier today. Renee Paquette interviewing Roosh, and apparently there was a backstage brawl, and they didn't waste any time. So we're going to kick off with the AEW World Title in a no countout match. And you can tell there's a lot of beef between Roosh and MJF because you remember the last time they faced off against each other, and I believe that match was commercial free. One-on-one. So you could tell these guys are going to have anything, but it's no countouts, limited commercials. That is going to kick off AEW Dynamite. But yeah, Roosh is talking about his title. But earlier today was a brawl that happened, so that's going to kick off the show. We're also going to have a grudge match between Kevin Knight and Speedball Mike Bailey for the TNT Championship match after what Kevin Knight did to Darby Allin, Double or Nothing. Speedball Mike Bailey are really going to tackle it out. I believe this might be the main event, the TNT Championship match. And looky, MJF. And of course, he had to slap Roosh. And the one thing about him, at least he has the balls to do it. I give him a lot more credit that he can handle. At least MJF has the balls to do some things. Oh boy, he has his triple B. But we're wasting no time. We have the TNT Championship. Obviously, of course, we have the Owen Hart Cup men and women's tournaments continuing. We have, for the men, we have Will Ospreay taking on Mark Davis. These two men know each other very, very well. We're also going to have my gal, Alex Windsor, and she'll be facing off against a wild card. Could we get somebody from Ring of Honor? Could we get somebody from New Japan? Could we get somebody from Stardom? Could we get somebody from the roster we have not seen? So there are so many guesses, so many. Also, earlier tonight, we did hear from the conglomeration. Mark Briscoe's looking for a fight. And if you notice on Collision over the weekend, Lio Rush, apparently he's been making his spots. Crazy making his spots, especially with the conglomeration this past week. But Mark Briscoe is going one-on-one with Lio Rush. Obviously, of course, Mark Briscoe wants MJF for the AEW World Title, which I think may happen at Forbidden Door. And you need a strong baby face to go up against MJF. And we're also going to hear from the Triangle of Madness. We've heard from Tekla from over the weekend. Obviously, of course, Sky Blue is in the tournament. She'll be facing off against Suri from Stardom. If you do not know who she is well known over there. But all this and more is happening. But Renee Paquette is with an angry and irritated Roosh after what happened earlier, right before the broadcast. So, oh, look, it's Andrade. Or as Jeffrey calls him, Inspector Gadget. Andrade has been making his point because he wants the AEW World Title. Obviously, of course, he is the reigning New Japan Global Champion. And he's been getting the ladies, too, outside the ring, if you notice. But I will say, because Jeffrey in the chat had said, Jeffrey in the chat has said he does look like Inspector Gadget with some of his outfits. Well, shout out to Jeff Metterling and shout out to both in the chat. I don't know because people have been saying Mercedes in the chat, but I feel like it may be somebody else because I would love for an opportunity. I would not be shocked if it was Marina Shafir because I would not sleep on her. And with the fact with this whole thing between Will Ospreay and the Death Riders, I would not be shocked if Marina Shafir had an opportunity. And John Moxley always tells his base, opportunity, opportunity, opportunity. But yeah, we are kicking off with Roosh and MJF. And also, if you are a basketball fan, actually a sports fan in general, yesterday they kicked off the Stanley Cups on TNT. And tonight, we kick off the NBA Finals Game 1 between the New York Knicks and the San Antonio Spurs. So if you love basketball, it's a great opportunity there. Feel free to put in the chat on who you guys got between Roosh and MJF. And if you're a basketball fan, who do you think is going to be this year's NBA champions? Do you think the Spurs are going to win, or do you think the Knicks are going to win? And I will tell you, since the Knicks have been in this memorable run, everybody in New York has just been jamming. Everyone has been jamming. But we're seeing Roosh right outside the ring. He's coming out. Of course, he's irritated after what happened earlier in the show with MJF. But it's a good thing because I got my popcorn, I got my drink, and it's going to be an interesting Dynamite tonight. So get ready because we're on the road to Forbidden Door. And I hope everybody had a great week. It's been a very hectic but productive week for me. But I'm happy to spend Wednesdays with all of you. Obviously, of course, last week, I did not do a watch along because they were in Philadelphia. So, of course, I can't miss any wrestling events in Philadelphia. But, oh, Lordy. Is he really coming out? Toro. Did he really come out in that outfit? Well, actually, it doesn't shock me he came in that outfit. Blue is his color. Blue is his color, by the way. Also, if you chatted with if you called us on WWT Live earlier today with Boss Lady and I, this Friday, if you're in the Massachusetts area or Rhode Island area, this Friday will be the last time you see MJF in the independent scene. It'll be the last time, obviously, of course, he's a reigning AEW champion and he has other things to do like movies, TV, entertainment opportunities, which I understand, but make sure to catch him. I know he was in my neck of the woods in New Jersey at WrestlePro over the weekend, wrestling against his mentor, Pat Buck. Make sure to go watch the replay. The replay is up on YouTube, by the way. It's up on YouTube. And also, I heard it was a really great match. So shout out to everybody. I saw some familiar faces from ISPW that were there. Obviously, of course, another familiar face from AEW, Max Caster, was there. So it's awesome. He's getting reps in the independent scene. But Justin Roberts. And also, Bozo, you kind of said it too. I think because with his commitments with AEW, and plus he's like, oh, Lord. Oh, Lordy, he had to plug in Hangman, even though Hangman is taking time off after that Texas Death Match at Revolution, because we haven't seen Hangman since. Oh my God, there's a reason why he's the reigning AEW champion, and I guess you gotta support that jerk. I guess. And also because, too, he is like the top guy in AEW. And of course, he's a 3-time champion. Whoopee. He's a 3-time champion, I guess. I guess I got to put up with him being a 3-time champ. I mean, I guess. Shout out to Jeffrey in the chat, but just call him Matador. I should for tonight, Jeffrey. Matador, MJF, Toro. Well, he is the face. Actually, one of the faces of AEW, but like being there and also one of the few people crossing over into mainstream, because obviously when he was in Happy Gilmore 2, that kind of shut up skyrocket. He worked with one of the top comedians, and MJF spat in Rouge's face. You're not supposed to do that, sir. He spat in his face. Oh boy, this is gonna be an interesting match. And of course, the bull against the devil. Obviously, MJF doing what MJF does best. Whew, thank God I was not at that event in New Jersey, because I'm pretty sure I will call him a jerk to his face, but I'll probably take that as a compliment. Oh, nice. That was a nice move by Rouge. And I'm happy he is getting a lot more TV time. He's getting a lot more wins, not just in Ring of Honor, but also here. Also, the same thing with Lio Rush as well. I know everybody doesn't understand Lio Rush's character, but it's very interesting as well. And he's getting a lot of TV time too, and the crowd's behind him. And Rouge spat in his face. Wow. Well, I'll tell you, Rouge came to play. He is no joke. And like I said, there's going to be limited commercial breaks on this match. And also, of course, like I said, this is also Rouge is here. Exactly, Jeffrey. He's heel, but he's getting cheered. It's kind of like with Jon Moxley and everybody from the Death Riders. You would think the Death Riders would be heel, but everybody's rooting for Jon Moxley. And if you saw Collision over the weekend, it was just very bizarre because this was after Konosuke Takeshita taking on Daniel Garcia. And also after the match, like everybody from the Don Callis family came in, but Jon Moxley said he doesn't like the Don Callis family. And then you see the conglomeration. It was just so interesting because they have a common enemy. So we'll see how that goes. Well, Boza, he's not a new member of Konosuke Takeshita is not a new member of the conglomeration. It's just temporary because when you go up against the Don Callis family, you got to make sure you got some backup with him. So that's the thing. But it's gonna be very interesting to see that. And then of course the situation with Ospreay and everything else. It's gonna be very interesting. So pay attention to that. Obviously, of course, I'm looking at this match. I feel like Rouge and MJF come to blows because if you remember the last match that they had, it just like was so physical. And there he is doing what he does best. Thank God I did not go to the event on Sunday because I heard it was a really great event at WrestlePro. WrestlePro did drew in a crowd after a crazy wrestling weekend. Obviously, Saturday we had AAA. I do plan to watch that because I heard it was a really great pay-per-view overall. Oh my God. Oh my God, Rouge just woo! MJF just laid it on the announcer's table, and I'm hoping he's okay. I know I called him a jerk many times, and he's a scumbag or whatever, but I don't like to see the guy seriously hurt. Like nobody wants to see anybody hurt. I wouldn't even want to see Don Callis seriously hurt because it's not good, and that's bad for my conscience. But he's okay. But MJF's okay. He got back up. Just a partnership, like well. Exactly, Jeffrey, just like Will Ospreay. But we're trying to see where that goes. But thank you all for joining with me on a Wednesday. And Rouge, oh my goodness, took out the turnbuckle. Well, you could see he's still irate after what happened. And yes, Jeffrey was another. I heard really good things, and I do want to make time to watch it because I heard it was really, really good. AAA, and you could also watch it on YouTube. But it was really, really good from start to finish. MJF's pleading for mercy, but Rouge is like, I'm not having it. The one thing I will say regarding MJF, he will make your opponent look good. He will make the opponent look good. I will give him credit on that. He will make him look good. And I love it. Oh, smart. I would say that's a smart gameplay by MJF. Smart gameplay. And I think for Forbidden Door, same thing with Mercedes. Well, that is true. Mercedes does make most of her opponents look good. But if they're like even with her, you can tell it's going to be a good match. But yeah, Mercedes does that too as well. Can't knock her for that. She does put on banger of matches. But MJF, locking horns. It's like the bull versus the devil. And they're showing the replay again on what happened on the turnbuckle. I wouldn't say a long match, Jeb Metterling. I think it's going to be a good, solid match between these two. Like I said, we do have Owen Hart Cup men and women's tournament action. We also have the TNT Championship, which I would think, ooh! Oh my goodness. Rouge is busted open from that turnbuckle. There's a reason why this jerk is nicknamed the devil. Because the one thing you do not want to do is take him into very, very dark places that he does not want to go. Gonna be interesting. Well, Boza, I don't know Boza's matches because we already have Mark Briscoe taking on Leo Rush. But we shall see. I would not be shocked if they added backstage segments. I would not be shocked. Rouge is busted open. Oh my God. And for anybody that says the F word regarding wrestling, just on this match and any other matches that happen, not just in AEW, but all promotions as well. And MJF he's just doing what he does best. But I feel like his next opponent is probably going to be Mark. But the thing is, he is dodging Mark because he doesn't think Mark Briscoe is on the same level as him, which is not true. And also, you need a strong baby face to go up against MJF. You need a very strong baby. Oh, look at referee. The referee, and of course, MJF pushed the referee out of the way, but MJF got a taste of his own medicine. Hit his head on the turnbuckle. I hope he doesn't bleed either. Because that has to hurt. Well, at least he's not busted open. Like Rouge. Turnbuckle. Rouge is putting in the work. Irish whip again by Rouge. He is, I will say, with a bloody face, he's putting a lot of energy. He's putting a lot of energy. And I'm going to say this after. Oh, boy. 1, 2, quick kick out by MJF. And I want to say this, too, because I'm watching this match between, because Rouge is busted open. Oh, my God. I want to say this because after MJF won, and I didn't like when people were snickering about Darby's reign because, of course, and Bryan Danielson, and also John Cena said it best, wrestling fans are fickle, because I remember when Darby first won it. Hold on for a second. To quick kick out by MJF, because I remember when Darby first won it, a lot of people were so irritated and upset. And if you saw my clip on Women's Wrestling Talk, I completely explained it, because Darby's been fighting for that title and everybody's kind of complaining about why is he doing it, giving people opportunity after opportunity after opportunity. When MJF, Swerve, Kenny, and Chris Jericho were champions, you just had to find suitable opponents for them. I mean, obviously you can't throw a random person. You just have to make sure they have chemistry. And also with the fact too, do you think Tommaso Ciampa would have wrestled better with MJF as champion? Do you think, well, Brody already had a shot, but do you think like guys that we haven't seen in a while, like Sammy Guevara, or even hold on, quick kick out by MJF. I'm trying to think of another person that Darby faced. I'm trying to think of another person because MJF faced off against Speedball, he faced off against Kevin. But Darby and Tommaso Ciampa, they really tore it. Because did you really think if MJF was champion, could you see him face off against Tommaso Ciampa? But that's just the thing. And also, could you see MJF as champion facing off against Pac from the Death Riders, where we all know MJF doesn't want to confront Jon Moxley one-on-one? I'm just saying. But yeah, it's just one of those things. And the crazy part about it is he hasn't faced off against Swerve one-on-one, which is insane. Since AEW is 7 years old, he has not faced off against Swerve Strickland. And I feel like they're going to hold off on that match. Because I say, if, as much as I would say, as much as I want Will Ospreay, and I've been campaigning for Will Ospreay to be the person to win the AEW World title, I wouldn't mind seeing Swerve win it again. But I think it would be interesting if they did it like heel versus heel, because Swerve is a heel, but I don't know. As I mentioned, this match has limited amount of commercial. You can tell Bruce is fired up because he licked his own blood. I know, Jeffrey, me too. I want to see MJF bald. It's no shame in being bald. No shame. Oh, he hit that pile driver right outside the ring. MJF is laid out cold. Okay, so they're doing a quick picture-in-picture right now. And they're showing the commercials for Dynamite and Collision, which is great. I'm happy because I watch a lot of Food Network, and I'm so happy they're airing a lot more commercials of AEW. That makes me happy because before they didn't air commercials. Now I'm happy we're getting commercials. And also, I know they do commercials specifically because they didn't want focusing on Darby, on MJF. So I'm happy that they are focusing commercials and all their other partners under Warner Brothers umbrella, even though they're kind of in a little bit of a dispute with Paramount because the deal hasn't gone through yet because I think they're still investigating that deal. And that's a whole conversation to have because I've been following that story since the last year. So there's a lot of layers to the story. But I'm happy you guys are hanging out with me for Timeless Elite Wednesday. We are kicking off with the AEW World Title. No countouts between Roosh and MJF. Obviously, of course, if you're basketball fans, game 1 of the Knicks and Spurs is happening right now. So you can flip-flop the TV as we used to when we were younger. Because if you remember the Monday Night Wars, you would flip-flop between WCW and WWE. And it's like you didn't want to miss that moment and you didn't want to miss the ooh. I'm on picture-in-picture. I wish I could hear what Justin Roberts is saying. I wish. Hold on. Roosh has to. Roosh headbutted one of the physicians, and it wasn't Dr. Sampson. Yeah, that was not Dr. Sampson. But we are back live with AEW Dynamite because we have. Yeah, I know everybody was flip-flopping over that. If you watch the Monday Night Wars, it's like, could you watch WCW? Could you watch WWE? Like, but we're back live with the AEW World Title. Roosh taking on MJF. Obviously, this was a good, solid match to kick off. I have a feeling the TNT title may be the main event because I feel like something is about to happen. But I don't mind seeing the ladies main event the match because if they main event, something's up. Oh, hand on the rope. They're trying to. Oh, that's always the worst. Oh boy. Well, it looks like Roosh is throwing it with a. What is referee Bryce doing? No, that's not Bryce. It looks like Bryce. Oh, I could tell Roosh is holding his shoulder. He's holding his shoulder. Okay, I knew it was Bryce. And oh my God. Ran into. Oh my God. Roosh looks like he's hurt. Well, I will say these guys are really putting on a physical match. Because I remember the first time they met, it was very physical. It looked like really much of a grudge match, if you would say. Oh my God, and MJF, he's gonna pile drive it on concrete? Yep, he pile drive it. Ooh, but MJF is holding on to his knee, and I'm hoping it's not too serious. But just remember, it's no countouts. That'll be the doctor's last job. Oh my God, Jeffrey! The last job of the doctors in wrestling. That is funny. That is funny. Well, hopefully we don't have any too serious injuries happening tonight. MJF, oof, I just hope his knee isn't too bad. Because I know he has to wrestle on Friday. And I kind of figured Samoa Joe, because when Samoa Joe said 2 weeks ago, when Jabot said 2 weeks ago he has to go on break, I kind of knew it was Twisted Metal. But go check out the show. I believe it's on Peacock. And I heard good solid reviews on Twisted Metal. So if you're done with the video game series, this will be a treat for you. MJF wants to end this thing. But Rushi countered. I will say, with the shoulder and all, he's hanging on. It's bad enough Willow had to be out with a bad shoulder. Well, both of that's true, and I think right now WWE is doing live house shows in overseas right now. And I would love for AEW to go back to doing house shows because I know they did one in Australia. I'm very curious if they did one. Oh, MJF got a submission hold locked in. Yeah, because I know AEW did an only house show in Australia, and I'm very curious how that went. So it's only a matter of time. MJF's putting that submission hold tight. Rush is like, Rush gave him the finger and said, no, I'm not. That evil smile. Oh, Rush. Well, Rush is passed out. He can't do it anymore. So your winner is MJF. Well, it was a good match, even though you did see a little bit of hurting their bodies. Good solid match to kick off AEW. Dynamite from Virginia. I just can't believe MJ. Well, it doesn't surprise me that MJF said that about Hangman Adam Page, with the fact he's taking some time off and he can't wrestle for the AEW World Title again. Oh, that's going to be interesting. So, since he retains, it's going to be very interesting on the road to Forbidden Door. But I do think Mark Briscoe is definitely next in line. But I feel like MJF is still going to play mind games with him because he doesn't think of him as a serious contender. But I wouldn't mind seeing him and Mark Briscoe go at it. I'm looking at MJF. He's at that Triple B. I said his name and he appeared. Mark Briscoe. And also with the fact too, as I said, Mark Briscoe is in action tonight against Lio Rush. So, and MJF up to his tricks, giving Mark Briscoe low blows. So, I think they are going to meet at Forbidden Door. It's just a matter of time. Well, here come the rest of the conglomeration. My guy, Orange Cassidy, and Roddy, and Kyle, and Big Tom, he's back. Or Tomohiro Ishii. I know Willow is injured. Harley, of course, is like an honorary member. But the only person that's missing is Hologram. And I know Hologram is injured. So we don't know when Hologram is coming back. But as I said, Mark Briscoe is going to be in action. And I think it'll be next. You're up the Owen Hart Cup tournament. So it would make sense for Lio Rush and Mark Briscoe to be next, since they're out there. But the conglomeration, who, by the way, had a successful retained over the weekend against, against members of the Don Callis family. Obviously, of course, they've had issues with not just the Don Callis family, they have issues with Shane Taylor Promotions over at Ring of Honor. It was just crazy because, like I said, if you watch Collision, it was just pandemonium chaos. And I will say, the conglomeration is like the legit babyface stable that I like. And they've been there for more than a year, which is insane because they first started right before the Death Riders invaded AEW. Like, the conglomeration was just starting to pick up. And also with the fact, too, since Kyle O'Reilly joined, as I said, he's starting to have some personality. We know he's a great wrestler, but started to show some personality, being with like Orange, who is obviously one of the most popular stars in AEW, and Mark Briscoe, beloved by everybody. Roddy did not like being in the conglomeration, but he's starting to like being in the conglomeration, which is great. I mean, and it's a good opportunity, and I do think you need a big stable baby face, so why not the conglomeration? Why not? And we're on commercial right now because, as I said, Mark Briscoe is in action next. So just waiting to see, but I hope everybody had a great week. It's the middle of the week. We're almost to the weekend. We have Dynamite, of course. Obviously, Friday. Well, actually, let me rephrase. We have AEW tonight. Tomorrow, TNA, because finally tomorrow on TNA, we have the anticipated Wicked Garden match. The Righteous taking on Broken Matt Hardy and Willow. As we all know, it's Jeff Hardy. It's a Wicked Garden match. We're also going to have Indy Hartwell and Santino Marella taking on Ariana Grace and Stax in mixed tag team action. So a lot has happened. We know Zaya Brookside is going to get an opportunity for the TNA Knockouts Championship. I do think, I would think they would face off against Slammiversary. I think they just need to build up a little bit more. Oh, Jeffrey can't stand the Righteous. Well, it's a Wicked Garden match tomorrow. I'm going to watch it because I know for TNA, I have been keeping up with what they're doing, and they're doing some good, solid work. They're doing some good, solid action. And yes, Lei Ying Lee will be facing off against Mr. Elegance. And also, because I'm looking at the comments. Yes, Jeffrey, ISBW had a great show the weekend. Congratulations to Tony Atlas, because he finally is the new ISBW Tri-State champion. I'm so happy for him. It was a really great event, really great opportunity. ISBW is definitely putting in the work in. So shout out to Tommy Fiera, Toto Tom, and everybody else at ISBW for putting the work in. And we're back live with AEW Dynamite. Mark Briscoe wants a fight. Oh my God. Oh my God. We need to react. We shall see. Hopefully we do. Also, my other siblings, they'll be doing the Kayfabe podcast tomorrow because they will be talking about Raw, SmackDown, and of course NXT. Once in a while they talk about AEW, but well, here come the rest of the conglomeration, except Hologram. And I love that they have shirts like Orange Cassidy, because remember Orange Cassidy first started, he had like this yearbook photo shirt. But here comes Leo Rush, and all the members of the conglomeration froze. And shout out to Nathan Campbell in the chat. Thank you guys for joining. And definitely saying for the Stanley Cups, I'm going with the Golden Knights. Good choice. Like I said, yesterday, Stanley Cup Finals started. Tonight is NBA Finals between the Spurs and the Knicks. I'm not going to lie. Leo Rush's character is really starting to draw, and he really, really did that. And I love it. I love that the entire conglomeration just froze. But I don't think the entire conglomeration did. Oh, hold on. As soon as they walked, they froze. I mean, he's supposed to. Well, it's kind of crazy with Leo Rush because you would think with some of the matches that he had, because he faced off against Brody King. But Brody's not scared of anything. Brody isn't scared of anything. I'll never forget when he faced off against Pac, and you never scare Pac like that. Pac was looking like so terrified. And I was like, what? I've never seen Pac so terrified, but Leo Rush, and of course, he is putting in work in from Ring of Honor. Fortunately, Action Andretti abandoned him, so I think we may get somewhat of a feud between them. Well, it's not bad. I mean, if it works, it works. He's whispering to Mark Briscoe's ear. And Mark Briscoe looks so confused. But if people are talking about it, oh, Lord. Jeffrey. Hey, look. He's drawing a lot more people. Yeah. He's making his appearance. So here we go. Oh, nice move by Leo Rush. I will say he has been putting a lot of banger matches between Pac, between Brody. Who else did he face? He faced off against somebody else on the Mark Briscoe ain't afraid of anybody. He's gonna come with a kung fu chicken. that is what he's known for, Mr. Mark Briscoe. But feel free to put in the chat on who you guys got winning. Do you have Leo Rush winning or do you have Mark Briscoe winning? Can Leo? Maybe. But it was nice that he had a spot at Double or Nothing because we got to see him and Bobby Lashley interact somewhat of a way. I'm watching the Froze. Oh man. Mark Briscoe did the bang bang. The newest person of AEW, Mick Foley. Make sure to check it out. Also, he did an interview with Ariel Helwani talking about like AEW and of course why he leaves WWE. Like we know obviously why, but he said it in an interview. So make sure to go check out his interview. Make sure to go check it out. This is going to be a very entertaining yet interesting match between these two. Obviously, of course, Mark Briscoe. Oh my God, he's galloping like a hyena. And I first saw that at Revolution. I was like, what? But if it gets people talking and he gets people more attention, you're doing something right. He could have done it for Halloween, but you're doing something right. And also with the fact, too, he was at the Square Circle Cafe right after Double or Nothing. And he did draw a good crowd in. So make sure if you're in the New York area near Harlem, make sure to check out the Square Circle Cafe. Honey and I got to meet them at 80s Wrestling Con. And the food is delicious. So good. The food, the cocktail drinks. I love that it's a wrestling cafe where they have wrestling and good food. And I love it. So I'm hoping I do make some time probably during the summer or fall to visit there because it looks really, really nice. But it looks like we're on picture in picture. The match is still going on with Mark Briscoe and Leo Rush. I know, it's crazy seeing the conglomeration freeze anytime Leo Rush came out. Did it really think that was going to scare the conglomeration? Where are the guys? Jeffrey, where are the guys? Oh, Jeffrey, he means no harm. He means no. Leo Rush means no harm. But when I was at Philly last week for Dynamite, Leo Rush was in action last week in that fatal 4-way match. And the fans were really cheering for him in Philly. They actually wanted him to win. They really, really, really wanted him to win. And it was a really great match. There you go. Yep, the Superstar Showcase match. And when I was there live, everybody was chanting for Leo because I really thought Leo would have got the victory. It would have been super cool if he did. But I'm watching this match on picture in picture live because I have the commercial, but I also have the match. And it's actually really good. But like I said, Mark wants that AEW World Title, which I have a feeling they probably meet at Forbidden Door. It's just like a cat and mouse game where MJF is not going to take Mark Briscoe seriously. We shall see on that. But I do believe the TNT Championship will be the main event, which is nice. And I love that. Yes, Chris Allen and Dakar Shida did really brought it. I kind of wish that main event at Dynamite, but I understand why they didn't main event Dynamite because the segue in there. But it was a really good match between Statlander and Shida. Really good match between those ladies. They really did brought it, and hopefully they're not too banged up after last week. And Jeffrey, Ty J. Well, as you know, Jeffrey, if haven't been paying attention, they will get a shot for the AEW Women's Championships this weekend on Collision. So you get to see two of your favorite ladies, Anna J and Ty. So they are definitely getting in there. And plus, hopefully we can see a blood feud between Divine Minions and Ty J. I want to see that grow and last a bit. But we're back live with AEW Dynamite. We have Lio Rush taking on Mark Briscoe. Oh my God, Lio Rush is trying to do Mark Briscoe's move. It's like a cat and mouse game. Not like the Stooges, but like cat and mouse. I know Lio Rush faced off against AR Fox for the Ring of Honor TV title. Who, by the way, congratulations to AR Fox. And also a little programming alert. This Saturday on Collision, it will be on 8 p.m. and it will be coast to coast. It will be coast to coast. Like if you live in the East Coast, if you live in the West Coast, if you live anywhere, it's going to be on at 8 p.m. this Saturday. And yes, Boza, next week we're going to the movies. We're going to the movies next week. We're going to have a summer blockbuster for Dynamite and Collision. Oh my God. I'll never forget last summer when they did Summer Blockbuster. 4 hours of a watch along. That was insane. But, you know, we made it, pulled it off. A lot of work to do. But hey, I will say this match between Mark Briscoe and Lio Rush is very entertaining. Because they're definitely, well, Mark is beloved by everybody, but Lio is starting to pick up where a lot of people do like his character. Whether you think it's weird or not, it's not picking up. The fans' reaction, it's picking up very well. And also, he's putting a lot of work in Ring of Honor. Quick out by Lio. I would love to see Lio Rush have gold. Well, Jeffrey, Biopusher was the thing of the past. I know, Jeffrey, that's hard to do. And I'm one of those people that grew up with Blockbuster. I still love Blockbuster. Yes, we go to the movies. And thankfully it's not 4 hours this time. Because last year it was just like, 4 hours of Summer Blockbuster. But I'm happy they're doing Dynamite on Wednesday. And then the next day they're doing Collision. Oh, that was a nice move by Lio. Like I said, Lio Rush has been putting in work in. So I'm happy he is getting a lot of opportunity. Oh, that was a little bit of a miscue. But they cleaned it up very well. Or Briscoe. This is actually a good solid match between these two. Oh, and 3. And your winner is Mark Briscoe. Because he's one step closer on getting that jerk MJF. Because he wants a shot at that AEW World title. And I think they're going to meet probably at Forbidden Door. But yeah, Mark Briscoe has his sights on it. And he's got the mic in his hand. What's he going to say? What is he going to say? He wants a cameraman. Oh yeah, 2023. His brother Jay. I remember they did a tribute episode to him. I remember watching that. I remember like it was yesterday. It's birthday. Oh yeah, his debut. And then Mark's talking about therapy, like AEW was his therapy after his brother passed away. And he is actually one of the most popular baby faces on AEW. You talk about the story how he crossed paths with MJF. Man, how many enemies did MJF have? I'm not gonna lie, this is one of Mark Briscoe's best promos since he's been on AEW. Whenever he gets serious. I'm not gonna lie, this is one of his best promos he did. Man, he got out his manhood. He said, prove it. Oh, that's in Hebrew. Hey, look, sooner or later, he's gonna get his shot. It's gonna happen at Forbidden Door. Do I see it being the main event at Forbidden Door? No. I'm not gonna lie. I have a feeling. I have a feeling. I have a feeling. Do I think this is gonna be the main event? No. If Mark versus MJF happens, I think if everything goes as planned for the men's, because I feel like the men's is going to close out, and I have a feeling it'll be Will Ospreay taking on Swerve Strickland as the main event, because that would be round 3, and that would be crazy. So I have that feeling Will Ospreay and Swerve, if they do meet at the finals, it could be the main event. Now, I would love to see the ladies' main event, because it's pretty much anybody's ballgame. So, yeah, that would be co-main event. It would be the co-main event. But, like, closing out the show, well, we shall see. So, generally, just to catch you up to speed, if you watched my watch-along from Double or Nothing, Kevin Knight, obviously, of course, attacked Darby Allin after he lost the AEW World title, and people were kind of frustrated on what's going on. So, last week, Kevin Knight came out and showed his piece. And yeah, they broke up. As Jeffrey said, they broke up when Kevin turned on Darby. And last week, Kevin threw a punch at Speedball, and Speedball was not happy. But here is the Mets. Ooh, so tonight we're gonna have Will Ospreay, Mark Davis. Next week at Summer Blockbuster, we're gonna have Swerve Strickland take on Brody King. Ooh, see, that's what I'm saying. It's gonna be Swerve and Will Ospreay. I just have a feeling it's gonna be Swerve and Will Ospreay. So this Saturday on Collision, which this should have happened tonight, Persephone will be taking on Hazuki from Stardom, Sky Blue, and Sari. And and here comes the AEW Women's Champion. There she is. And I know she's trying to hype up her sister, Sky Blue, because she has a match this weekend. Oh, Justin Bozo, we know the whole story with Tekla and Stardom. You know what it is? She's scared of Stardom, and she's scared of my gal, Jamie Hayter, because I need a blood feud between those two ladies. She doesn't want anyone from Stardom after what happened. And she even called out the president of Stardom to show up at Forbidden Door. Yeah, she talked about the story of what happened with Stardom. Well, Jeff Metterling, that's what she is. She's a heel. And that's what they need in the women's division. They need strong heels. Oh, yeah, Julia Hart, because we know the tournament for the TBS title. So we know Julia Hart will be entering that tournament. A belt she never lost. Well, she did lose it, but she got injured. She really wasn't putting for Stardom. I think you are declaring war, lady. Shout out Lynette in the chat. She's climbing up the ladder. What's she doing? Oh, she spit on the stardom. Man. She better hope no one from Stardom. Well, we know Hazuki and Sari are in the tournament. She better hope neither one. She better hope either one advances to the finals. Oh boy. So we're just waiting on the next match. But yes, I will say Hazuki is a woman to not be joking with. And it was the first time she appeared on AEW television at Collision over the weekend. We did have Persephone on commentary. Obviously, you see the shin in her right eye after what the Triangle of Madness did to her. But it's going to be very interesting to see. So, yeah, we're on commercial, and we're almost at the 9 o'clock hour. So since, they're on commercial, we're going to be on commercial too. And we can share our new initiative that we have here on Women's Wrestling Talk, which is the Women's Wrestling Archive. And we get to celebrate the past, the present, and the future of women's wrestling.
Women's wrestling didn't just show up yesterday in glitter boots. We've been here the entire time, body slamming through history.
The Women's Wrestling Archive launches 2026, and it's going to pave the way for all women's wrestling.
Because if we don't document it, a man might think he did it first.
This has been a passion project for a very long time. Head over to the womenswrestlingarchive.com to donate 1, 5, or whatever you can. It all goes a long way.
Let's give these women the spotlight that they've always deserved.
Her story belongs in history. Help us preserve it today. Join us at womenswrestlingarchive.com. Support the archive. Support women's wrestling. Donate today.
Support everything for the Women's Wrestling Archive. Every support helps. $1, $2, $3, $20. Any support helps. So we have a digital archive to celebrate all things women's wrestling. But you're hanging out with me, your PR princess, your timeless elite, Stone Cold Courtney, whatever you want to call me, on this Wednesday edition of Dynamite. Yeah, we had some interesting stuff to kick off. Obviously, we kicked off with the AEW World Title between MJF and Roosh. We also had Mark Briscoe picking up a victory over Lio Rush, which was really great, and saw a cameo appearance by the conglomeration. Mark Briscoe, I think that was one of the best promos that he did on AEW so far, because he wants MJF. He's gunning for MJF. So I have a feeling they'll probably meet at a Windsor. Well, we shall see who our wildcard opponent is. Maybe it's Mercedes. Maybe it's not. I don't know. But I said if it's not Mercedes, I said it would be cool for somebody either in Stardom, New Japan, Ring of Honor. And here come the Death Riders, and look at Will Ospreay. Look at John Moxley. Let John Moxley talk. You know what's funny? Daniel Garcia talks so much. Let John Moxley talk. And it's kind of crazy. He's the one leading him in the charge for Wembley. And also, if you did see last week, Will Ospreay had a backstage encounter with Kenny Omega. And Kenny was a little bit struck on him working with Mox. And Mox came in out the blue. So it's like people think, does John Moxley have Kenny Omega's weak spots? Or does Kenny Omega know John Moxley's weak spot? That's the thing nobody talks about. You talk more about Kenny, but do you talk about with John Moxley's weaknesses? It's kind of very interesting and odd with the fact that Death Riders want to take out everybody. about Orange Cassidy? I thought he did, but I'm very curious. I'm very curious if Swerve and Ospreay does officially happen. I know Swerve has got some punches. And also with the fact too, the Death Riders seemed a little bit scared of Swerve when Swerve faced off against Mox. But we do have Mark Davis taking on Will Ospreay. It's just interesting that it's just like John Moxley's showing the way. But I think this is something that he wants to do because he wants to pick out people who are leading the charge, like who wants to step up to the plate and be the person or the main stars of AEW. So I think that's something that we kind of have to. It's going to be something on what we're going to have to do. But I think that's what John's doing. And especially with the fact, since he is the reigning Continental Champion, giving out eliminator matches to guys who he thinks could step up to the plate. That's just something to keep in mind. But it does, because at first I didn't get it with Ospreay, but I understand why. And with the fact Pac doesn't trust Will Ospreay, that's also another layer to it, but there's a lot more story to tell. Now I'm very curious if Will Ospreay does advance to the finals, and if he wins, it's gonna be very interesting to see. And oh lordy, here comes Andrade, of course, with the ladies. I feel like every week we always have to deal with something with the ladies. Always have to get a picture, have to get a cameo. I know, I saw that, Jeffrey. It's gonna be very interesting. And it's gonna be very interesting if Will does win and gets the AEW title. And bam! Jon Moxley probably wants that belt. I'm just saying. Because you got to watch out for Mox and the Death Riders. I mean, I know people cheer for Moxley and all, but you got to watch out for them. Same thing with Ospreay. Ospreay probably has something up his sleeve because one way to kill the Death Riders is you got to know their weaknesses. So that's something to pay attention. Well, I could care less about Don Callis, so it's like I'm pretty sure. But I wonder how long. Well, we shall see, Jeffrey. Probably leading up to Wembley, probably leading up to his home country, because we have Forbidden Door. In July, we also have their new pay-per-view in Montreal, Redemption. I'm sure we'll probably get appearance from Kenny Omega, but also just pay attention to Ospreay because now you have Kenny Omega in the mix. Possibly the conglomeration, because I know the conglomeration and Death Riders were in there. Oh, and we're going to hear it with Andrade. I guess Andrade wants a shot too. Oh boy. We got to deal with Don Callis. Because Andrade wants a shot. Oh boy. And then he's going to say, I got something important to say. That's what he's going to say. Oh, that's so dope, Jeffrey, regarding Tierra James. I got to listen to that group saying, I got something important to say. Yeah, no, that's what he said. I got something important to say. Oh, Lordy. Lordy. Kevin Knight is joining the Don Callis family. Are you freaking kidding me? I would have read. Well, no, I'd rather for him to join the. Well, actually, this makes a lot of sense, and especially because everybody said he was going to join the Hurt Syndicate. This actually makes a lot more sense because the Hurt Syndicate is already over. So that peanut Jeffrey with the peanut. Yeah, he's a peanut bald-headed jerk. That's what he is. Actually, it does make a lot more sense, and it's good that he draws a lot of heat. But you can tell Andrade's not happy. Andrade, because Andrade's been wanting an AEW World Title match, and the reason with Takeshita, he wouldn't even let him face off against Takeshita. It's gonna be very interesting, but it does help. I don't know what it is with Andrade because you remember he has a relationship, Don Callis, with MJF, and MJF paid him that money. Oh, so we're gonna have Speedball and Kevin Knight happening right now. So I'm guessing the main event's gonna be probably Will Ospreay and Mark Davis, which makes a lot of sense. I thought this would be the main event, but which actually makes a lot of sense. See, told you Kevin. Oh boy. I feel like this could be a good bloody grudge match between these two. I feel like there's something there. He stole my Jeffrey, stop. And we know what it is. He can't help himself if he was the one that got her first. I know people are going for Speedball. And you know, it's crazy on Collision. They were chanting Speedball because he was there helping out the conglomeration against the Don Callis family. So the good part about this is the Don Callis family made so many enemies. It's like they can handle it. They made so many enemies out of everybody, including the Death Riders, which that's very interesting. I'm surprised Don Callis ain't doing commentary. I could see them having a blood feud that'll last probably a couple months because I really want to see this grow and develop. But it's crazy. I know with Kevin Knight being heel, it actually makes sense because he is getting a lot more heat. Because what better way to get heat than being with the Don Callis family? And actually, I'm happy he's not with the Hurt Syndicate. With the fact the Hurt Syndicate is looking for a fourth member. Who could that be? Who? And feel free to put in the chat on who you guys got. Do you have Kevin Knight retaining? Or do you think we'll have a new TNT champion with Speedball Mike Bailey? You know, it's funny with Takeshita turning face. I wouldn't be surprised if Andrade was the next one to do it because Andrade's been getting a little frustrated because he wants that AEW World title. And I don't blame Andrade for getting upset because he wants that belt. Camille should go. Ooh, that would be interesting. But you said that she should be better off with the Ops. But I'm not mad at that. I mean, it would be interesting to see Camille join the Hurt Syndicate or the Ops. I wouldn't see. And plus, it would be really cool because what if it's not a guy? What if it's a female that could join the Hurt Syndicate? And I think that would be really good use. Kevin Knight should know how Speedball operates. He has legs of steel. Because I would not want to mess with a man that knows Taekwondo and the strength is his legs. I feel like these guys know each other's moves so well. Oh man, that was a nice move by Speedball. All right, Jeff Meadowland's going for Speedball. But feel free to put in the chat who you guys got winning. And you can see the returning Jake Doyle back in action. Came back from a serious injury. So it looks like him and Brian Cage are a new tag team, which does put a lot of emphasis on the tag team division. Nice drop kick by Kevin Knight. You already know what? Yes, Jeffrey. So this is in picture, but it's still live. Still live. Because I'm watching this in picture. Jeffrey, it's like, you already know who I'm picking. Yes, Jeffrey, I know who you're picking. Oh my goodness. Well, it has been a fun and interesting Dynamite so far. It's doing all those points leading up to Forbidden Door, because by the way, next month it's in San Jose, California. So if you are near the Bay, this is a great opportunity to do it. And also make sure to check out WWC Live from earlier today. Boss Lady and I, we went through some interesting stories today. Interesting stories that happened today. But make sure to check it out. I'm pretty sure we'll probably get some news that are happening in the coming weeks. I mean, the crazy lawsuit that's happening between WWE, TKO, and Endeavor. It's just so bizarre. And Lynette, Courtney, I can see Julia being face. I would pick my brother. But he's dealing with that Peanut Clown. Oh, that's a good one, Jeffrey. Mr. Peanut, bald-headed clown jerk. That's the thing. But I think it does help because he does get a lot more heat. And what better way to work with a creep and a jerk like Don Callis? Even though I can't stand the man. Oh, man. But I do think this is going to be a good grudge match and blood feud between Speedball and Kevin Knight. I kind of want to see this lead up to Wembley Stadium a bit. And also, I wouldn't be shocked if it lit up not just at Wembley, but also the next pay-per-view in July. Which is Redemption. It's in Montreal. Really? AEW is better. You can make an argument with that. And oh my God. So if anybody saw the commercial, Toy Story 5 is coming out. And well, you know, I've been following Toy Story since I remember when it first came out. It was like a big deal. Pixar was like a new thing that was happening because they was creating movies. It was like them, A Bug's Life, Monsters Incorporated, all those movies. But yeah, June 19th, Toy Story 5. And I definitely want to watch that movie because it does look really nice. And hard to believe we've had 5. Well, this is the 5th one of Toy Story. 5, I only saw the first. I saw the first one, the second one, maybe the third one I saw. I know the 4th one I saw, but this is number 5. So, you know, the inner child in me has to watch Toy Story. I mean, you can't do that. But we're back live with AEW Dynamite coming to you from Richmond, Virginia. We have pretty much a personal grudge match. We have Kevin Knight taking on Speedball Mike Bailey for the TNT Championship. If you heard right beforehand, he is the latest person of the Don Callis family. Yay! Daring off with that creep. And not only we see Don Callis at ringside, we see Jake Doyle, who returned from a serious injury earlier this year. So it looks like him and Brian Cage are a new tag team. And also, the Dogs, Clark Connors, and David Finlay wants a shot against Edge and Christian because they beat him up last week. They beat them up last week, which made me sad because I thought we were gonna get a 5-second pose, and I saw the portable cameras too. One of my friends was sitting on the front row last week, and he got a camera, and I said, "Do not lose it. Keep that forever." But I do love the portable cameras. It was so fun. But anyway, switching gears between Speedball and Kevin Knight. Speedball's got legs of steel. I would be very terrified if I got my face kicked in. And these guys know each other's moves so well. Oh my God, that was a nasty kick. And both men are down. And they're getting a standing ovation, as they should. This match should have been the main event. But I can understand why they had Will Ospreay and Mark Davis be the main event. So I'm not gonna yell at them for that, because who knows, we may see an appearance from Swerve and Brody watching this match. So you never know. Speedball locking eyes with Jake Doyle. Speedball ain't scared of nobody. I don't know who Jake Doyle thinks he is. He ain't gonna intimidate Speedball. Whoa, that was like a miscue. See, they got started, but Speedball, he kicked him right in the face. This should have been the main event, because that would have been insane. And it's only hard to believe we got 2 matches left. Somebody has a portable camera. I love it. We need to bring those back. We need to bring those back. We do. Let's bring the portable cameras back. Because I remember when I started watching wrestling, it was portable cameras, flash photography, and signs. You didn't have any of these cell phones back then. Oh my God. I would be shocked if this match ended in a draw. It's always going to be beating up your friends. Shawn and Triple H, Naomi and Jay, Cody and Randy, Charlotte and Becky. Yeah, pretty much. Edge and Christian, they fought against each other. Batista and Triple H. Batista and Triple H. I don't think they were friends, but a personal grudge match was Eddie Guerrero and Kurt Angle. That was like a very intense grudge match between those two. Or Eddie Guerrero and Rey Mysterio when they had that match. Kicked out by Kevin Knight. And also even AEW, we had some grudge matches. We had Kyle Fletcher and Will Ospreay. Hangman pretty much almost against everybody. Let me phrase that. MJF pretty much taking on anybody. And then Swerve and Hangman, that was a personal grudge. I think this match has a time limit, Jeff Metterling. I think it does. I would not be shocked if this ended in a draw. Quick kick out by Speedball. Everybody beat up. Yeah, I know. It's like everyone beat up a Hangman. Same way, everybody beat up on MJF. Everyone beat up on well, no, not Mox. There was a few grudges he had. It was him and Kenny, and also Orange Cassidy and Jon Moxley. That was a grudge match. Jake Doyle's trying to get in the way. But we see that creep screwing Mike Bailey. Who does he think he is? Going for a Spanish fly right here. Oh my God. Oh, W to move. Great. Kevin Knight W to move. Oh yeah, Thunder Rosa and Britt Baker. That could have been a really good rivalry for the women's division. And also another rivalry in the women's division, Willow and Chris Statlander. That was personal. But your winner and still TNT champion, Kevin Knight. I definitely, I'm like a person that wants to see a good blood feud. I feel like I need to see Speedball and Kevin have a blood feud. But the Jet's going to talk. Let's hear what he has to say. Man, he called Speedball dead weight. Well, he is the face of TNT, ladies and gentlemen. He is the face. I feel like I'm going to be honest, Jeff Merling. Kyle Fletcher should not be going after the TNT title. Kyle Fletcher's got bigger things to worry about. And with the fact, too, he wants to catch up for the international title. And speaking of the dogs, as I was talking earlier, we have Renee. After what happened last week. Wait, is that beer? Oh my God, the new 5-second. Lord, you made us not have a 5-second pose last week in Philly. Oh no, they got kazoos. You remember the kazoos from Edge and Christian those days? Oh, look at the Young Bucks. Well, as I said a couple weeks ago, the Bucks won the AEW Tag Team titles. Yay! And also, you got to throw FTR in. Yay! You can tell I'm sarcastic and I'm not really interested. Nothing against the Young Bucks, but I don't need them in another AEW Tag Team title. You can put them in any grudge, confused, but I just, no. Call it Dodd. I mean, no offense. What's the point of the Young Bucks being 4-time tag team champions anyway? Well, it looks like it's going to be very interesting. Well, that was really interesting. That was super, super interesting. But yay! I mean, I'm not really interested because I think I've had enough of the Young Bucks being the AEW title picture because there are more tag teams. Give more tag teams a chance. Damn it. Part of me wishes my guys, the Acclaimed, are back together because there's a few rivalries I would love for them to be in. Like, they could have been in a blood feud with FTR, which that would have been super interesting. They never had a chance to face off against Private Party, which I believe, and I'm still have hope that we will get the Acclaimed Private Party. I still have hope on that because kind of dropped the ball there, and it would have been a fun, good rivalry. And I would love to see them face off against the Infantry, but I don't know. We shall see on that. But right before the ladies' match, I'm going to get stretched in and everything else. Fill up your beverages, go to the restroom because the anticipation is almost over, and we're going to find out who my gal Alex Windsor is going to face for the Owen Hart Cup Women's Tournament. So taking a quick break and be back shortly. good to face. It's always good to get a nice stretch in after sitting for a while. Just get your legs stretched and everything else. And I'm catching up on everybody in the chat. Jeffrey really wants Mercedes. I think a lot of people want Mercedes. And I think because, and I said this last Friday. And here comes MJF in a water bath. He doesn't want to face him. For winners, what's he think? And I said this a couple weeks ago. Do you see Tommaso Ciampa going up against MJF? I would say Kenny. I would say Kenny, but I know he beat Kenny earlier this year, but oh boy. Leave him in his water bath, Renee. Oh, judging. He's lucky. You know what it is? He's so lucky Darby Allin wasn't there because he would have took him out of that water bottle and beat the crap out of him. Oh, boy. Well, Bubs, don't be nervous. Everybody's always nervous and hyped up. But here's my gal, Alex Windsor, the reigning New Japan Strong Women's Champion and one half of the Brawling Birds with Jamie Hayter. I hope Jamie Hayter is cleared to wrestle. But who is Miss Windsor going to face? It would be funny if she faced off somebody that she knew from her past. That would be hilarious. But I would not be shocked. And I feel like they'll say Mercedes for somebody. So who is the anticipation for Alex Windsor? Oh. Okay. So it looks like she's back. Mercedes Moné. Very curious if she's going to be a face or a heel. And we know Alex Windsor. It'll be crazy. Yeah, Jeffrey. It would have been crazy if it was Britt Baker, but there she is. I feel like they're going to have her face off against Athena in round 2. Well, it's going to be very interesting to see the road for her. And technically she is the reigning winner because she did win the Owen Hart Cup last year. So she has to. Well, supposed to be fair, I'm not gonna really decline on that. And I said this a couple weeks ago. It's just like Tony has to learn that he has other women he can do without Mercedes and Tony. It's just he has to put a lot more trust in them. But she's also the reigning person. I'm happy to see Mercedes back. Nothing wrong with that. But Friday is gonna be so fun. I would not be shocked if they talked about this in kayfabe tomorrow. But Mercedes Moné is back. She's facing off against my gal Alex Windsor. And also, if you remember the last time they met, Alex Windsor beat her for the Rev Pro Undisputed Women's Championship last December. Oh. Yeah, for your CEO. Oh, Lord, Jeffrey, don't even start. Don't even start, because Friday on WWT Live is going to be very interesting. Well, she is showing some heel tactics. But if I were Alex, I would kind of beat the crap out of her, especially after what happened last summer. Jeffrey, don't even start. Don't you even start. And July 1st, the TBS Championship Survival of the Fittest will be happening Wednesday, July 1st. We will see who are the participants. Boza, I mean, honestly, I could really care less on what the Narcs have to say because, I think they don't understand the big picture. And it's funny, they talk so much about the women's division not showing opportunities, and then you have women who are displaying opportunities. So I think that's something. I think that's something to see. And plus, it gives a lot of opportunity because you could create a lot of better stories with the women's division. And I think you have to show that you can do a women's division without Mercedes or Toni Storm. And they're starting to do that. It's just, there's a little bit of pieces. And like I said, she is the reigning person for the Owen Hart Cup Women's. So, we shall see on that. But it's going to be interesting on what her storyline is going to be because obviously I know, Boza. I mean, I want that too. But the good news is we do have representation from Ring of Honor, from Stardom, from New Japan. So some people don't realize it, but and she was gone, but she deserved to have a break. I mean, everybody deserves to have a break. This is when you get too comfortable with her. But feel free to put in the chat on who you guys got. I mean, you already know I'm going to go for my gal, Alex Windsor. We're definitely going to have a fun one. I really thought it was going to be Marina Shafir, to be honest, because that would have made a lot more sense. But I would not be shocked if Marina Shafir entered in the Survival of the Fittest for the TBS title, because I feel like they have some plans for her. And also with the fact, too, I would say revenge on Alex Windsor. I would probably say revenge on the entire AEW women's division. I would say the entire AEW women's division. No, trust me, Boza, when she first came in, well, actually, it was in Boston. So obviously Boston got the hometown crowd. But when she first came in, oh, trust me, everybody was hopping aboard the train. Even our own panelists on WWT. But I told myself I was not. And also with the fact, too, I didn't appreciate some of the Narcs fans of Mercedes disrespecting the rest of the women's division. So that's why I said what I said on WWT Live last year when Chris Statlander was women's champion, because I was not going to let these girls be disrespected. And thinking some fans thought they were afterthoughts and everything. So that's why I said what I said. Yeah, tackle us thriving. And plus, like I said, I'm pretty sure we'll see Marina Shafir in the TBS Survival of the Fittest. Depending on what's going on with the women's tag team titles, I could see Megan Bayne being in it. And I was glad. But Jeff Metterling, to be fair, yes, she is a breath of fresh air. I'm not discrediting anything that she does, and she has put a lot of women's wrestling. But I did not appreciate some of the fans that were disrespecting some of the women's division, the ones who were champions before she came along. Some of them were already champions and who, well, somewhat established before she got there. I just want to be very clear of that, because I didn't like it when they talked bad about my gal Jamie Hayter. Obviously, of course, my lady Toni Storm. But just don't want it to be easy like it's last year, because obviously when Mercedes entered the Owen Hart Cup tournament, I was like, yeah, she's gonna win. I want to be intrigued on what's gonna happen. I wouldn't mind seeing either Athena, and you know what? I wouldn't be surprised if it's either Athena or someone from Stardom, because Tekla has a beat with Stardom, and that could carry into All In Wembley Stadium. That would be an intriguing one, because obviously Mercedes will be at Wembley. Well, Jeffrey, I know what you're doing, but there were some people that were disrespecting some of her opponents since she came to AEW, and I was not happy about that. And I had to address that because I wasn't too happy about it. And I do appreciate you respecting all women, all the women's division, even everyone in this chat, because we are Women's Wrestling Talk, and we respect all women. But that's what I just said, because we appreciate all things women's wrestling. But I'm happy to see Mercedes back. But you know, the one thing I wish that she needs to do, well, there's one. Yeah, Jeffrey, we're not gonna go on TNA. Yeah, it's gonna be very interesting on Friday. We're not gonna talk about TNA because there's a lot of things, but it's gonna be very interesting. But we are back live with the Owen Hart Cup Women's Tournament. My Galax Windsor facing off against the wild card that revealed to be Mercedes Moné, facing off one-on-one. You know who I really want her to confront? I want her to confront Camille, because I need to know what happened between her and Camille, because I feel like it ended like with so many questions. I just need her to face off against Camille. Girl, and I don't think we ever had a back-to-back champion. Yeah, before anything else, I need Mercedes to confront Camille. That's what I want to see. Because there's a lot of questions that I have regarding Camille. But I love that Alex Windsor, she's pulling her own weight. And plus, this is like the third time she faced off against. Yeah, Jeffrey, it's like we didn't get a payoff. Friendly reminder, Sunday, June 28th is Forbidden Door. June 28th is going to be a fun day, because we have TNA Slammiversary, we have NXT Great American Bash, and we have Forbidden Door. And for confirmation, I will be doing a watch along for Forbidden Door. I will say, Alex, don't mess with Alex Windsor. She's holding up on her own. That's why I like her. That's why she's part of my team. She's holding up on her own. Oh, yeah. Well, Boza, just to let you know, Night of Champions is going to be on the 27th of June. Quick FYI, the 27th. I know, that's okay. But yeah, Night of Champions is the 27th, just to FYI. Oh yeah, it's going to be a very busy weekend of wrestling. But who's complaining? I'm not complaining. You just watch as much wrestling as you can. I will say this is a really good, solid match. I'm happy it's not a squash match or anything. It's a physical match between both of these ladies. It's not the first time these two met. Friendly reminder regarding Saturday on Collision. It'll be live coast to coast this Saturday at 8 p.m. We know on Collision this weekend, it will be Hazuki taking on Persephone for the Owen Hart Cup Women's Tournament. We also have for Summer Blockbuster, we will have Sky Blue taking on Stardom's Sari. That's going to be interesting. I'm pretty sure Tekla will be watching very closely. Yes, and the AEW Women's Tag Team titles will be on the line this Saturday. Divine Dominion will be taking on Ty-J. I'm sure we'll probably get some more matches coming in either after Dynamite's over or on socials leading up to Saturday. She's doing her knees. Oh my God, that's a hurt. Quick count by Alex Windsor. No, that's okay. Because that's what we're here for. And also, I want to make sure you guys watch AEW. I know many people have a little bit of questions regarding AEW. I know some people are watching it just because of the situation with WWE and trying to be fickle about it, but not me, because I actually want to see AEW thrive. I want to see them succeed. And that's why I'm called the Timeless Elite. I got to pick up my game. And also, I got to give them constructive criticism. They better not have a return. Don't mention cake. Jeffrey, don't mention cake. Do not mention cake in front of her. Actually, better yet, don't give her a cake. This is a really good match. The one thing I will say, she has not had a bad match so far since she's been in AEW Mercedes. And with the fact, too, she has been injury-free. She hadn't suffered a serious injury since she's been in AEW. Where in WWE, obviously, of course, she suffered a few injuries. But she has not suffered a serious injury since she's been in AEW. And I think that's a record. Oh, poor Alex. Well, damn, she does not want to let go. Let her go. You better let her go, or else Jamie Hayter's gonna get you. Hey, leave my girl alone. Jeez, leave my gal alone. Alex Windsor. Woo! I know you won, and also she's, like I said, she won it last year, so she has to retain it. But she advanced, so we will see who she faced, either Hazuki or Persephone. I think I'm going to say this, but like I said, she is the reigning champ. She is the reigning winner of the Owen Hart Cup tournament. But I have a feeling we may get her versus Athena in the finals. I think we're going to get them in the finals. Oh, yep. So like I said, if she makes it past either Persephone or Hazuki, God, I can't do it. I'm going to say this. It's going to be very interesting, because if she can make it past either Persephone or Hazuki, she's going to face off against Athena in the finals. Now, we never had a back-to-back Owen Hart Cup Women's Champ. Yeah. Oh, and they're showing the video package for Divine Dominion and Ty-J. This is another thing. I need to see them have like a month or two. I would love to see a 6-month blood feud between them. It doesn't have to be like after, but I would like to see them have like a blood feud. Shout out to Eddie Foster in the chat. I hope you're doing well, sir, because you're just in time for the main event, which is for the Owen Hart Cup men's tournament. Will Ospreay taking on Mark Davis. And like I said, I wouldn't be shocked if they talked about Mercedes' return at Kayfabe tomorrow, because I've seen on Kayfabe what they talk about. They talk about things on AEW. And most of the time, it's usually Mercedes. Well, they did talk about Double or Nothing, but I'm just saying. And I will say they did talk about when Darby Allin was champion. So at Summer Blockbuster, we're going to have Owen Hart Cup men and women's action. We know that for next week. Sari, Sky Blue, Brody King, Swerve Strickland. I'm pretty sure we'll probably get some other matches happening. But we're in our main event. We're in our main event. Oh, Lordy. Don Callis, that creep. And we have Kazuchika Okada. I'm gonna have to watch this without you. I got. Oh, Jeffrey, it ain't gonna be that bad. Come on. I guess Don Callis wants more gold. Why didn't he be in the tournament? Lord. Okada doesn't need to go after the international belt. If for any reason, he should go after the AEW World Heavyweight title. Swerve versus Brody. Oh, yeah, that's going to be a good match next week. Swerve and Brody face off against each other. Okada looks... Jeffrey. Okada looks naked without his belt. Well, to be fair, when he first came into AEW, the one title he should have went for was the AEW World Heavyweight title. Well, Dylan, I'm surprised Dylan's not in the chat, but I'm pretty sure he'll probably laugh on Friday. I'll probably get my thoughts. I'm sure Friday's episode is gonna be very interesting. But the CEO is back. Ced can try. See, here's the thing. Ced can try to say CEO Wednesdays, but I'll be like, nope. I'm going to shut it down right away because it'll be timeless Elite Wednesdays. It will always be timeless Elite Wednesdays. He had a chance to do his little thing last Wednesday while I was at Dynamite Live, but which way did he go? So Wednesdays will always be timeless Elite Wednesdays. So at least I'm on the ground doing stuff. No, but in all seriousness, a lot of us are doing the ground throughout this summer, but we got a lot of stuff happening. I have a lot of plans happening. I'm very excited to cover media this Saturday until Tony returns. Oh, stop it, Jeffrey. Even with Tony not being there, it's still going to be timeless Elite Wednesdays because I still got the rest of my squad with me. I got Orange Cassidy. I got the Brawling Birds with Jamie Hayter and Alex Windsor. Obviously, of course, I got Bowens and Castor. So, yes, we will be on the ground. Saturday, I'm very excited to cover Deanna and Steve Macklin's event, which is going to be charity. It's a charity wrestling event, which I love, and all the proceeds are going to go to an organization devoted to militaries and veterans, which is really awesome. The Hardys are going to be there. Chris Statlander is going to be there. Shotzi. Many people will be there, and I'm very excited to attend it. And this is the first time they're doing this. So it's going to be in New Jersey, and I will be on the ground. I'm very excited, and it's going to be fun. And also MLW is coming to town in Philadelphia. Obviously, of course, the recent partnership with Stardom. That's going to be really fun. So hopefully I get the chance to talk to somebody from Stardom because I feel like it would be great for us. And especially if they do announcements, if they do exclusive announcements, we can do, especially, like I said, if they do exclusive announcements, we could be the first ones to at least alert it before anybody else does. And also, it's a women's promotion. Jeff Merling, don't you even start because I'm going to have to give you a timeout, sir, because this is Timeless Elite Wednesdays. Damn it. And they're showing last week what happened between Chris Jericho and Tommaso Ciampa. And also, if you saw Tommaso Ciampa's promo on Collision, he put out 1004 reasons why he hates Chris Jericho. The first one was Fozzy sucks. He said, I don't like your glittery pants. And there's Tommaso Ciampa. And Tommaso Ciampa wants Chris Jericho. He's telling Chris Jericho to stay away. I think this may be the next blood feud Chris Jericho's going to have. Well, Tommaso Ciampa wants Chris Jericho. We shall see what happens there, but we got a main event happening. And we have the men's Owen Hart Cup Women's Tournament. Will Ospreay taking on Mark Davis. I will say I've seen Will Ospreay's entrance live a few times. It is electric. I'm not gonna lie. There's a few times I've seen it. I think that was like my third time. That was like my third or fourth time seeing Will Ospreay's. No, third or fourth time I've seen Will Ospreay's entrance. And it was electric. Everybody was chanting, Ospreay, Ospreay. I mean, he wants to be the guy leading the charge. I mean, they kind of turned out the lights, Boza, but I think they turned it back on anyway. But the theme song's after. Ospreay, Ospreay. Ospreay, Ospreay. Ospreay, Ospreay. Ospreay, Ospreay. I mean, you gotta feel electric when the Will Ospreay's entrance come along. I mean, you can't wrong. And then obviously, of course, you see Miss Renee doing her sideline reporting. She's doing sideline reporting for the Owen Hart Cup tournament, which I love. And she's been doing it since Jon Moxley has defended the Continental Championship. I'm very curious on who's going to be the next person to step up against Moxley for that Continental Championship. Well, I mean, that's one of the perks when you work with the ace of AEW, which is Jon Moxley. And this is going to be a banger of a match. I got my popcorn ready because this is going to be a fun match, and this is our main event. So get ready, get prepared. And I may have some popcorn out next week because we're going to the movies next week. But I got my popcorn ready, and this is going to be a fun main event. Feel free to put in the chat on who you guys got winning in the main event. Do you have Will Ospreay or do you have Mark Davis advancing? And good, I don't have to see well, I think because the Death Riders aren't there because they're backstage, and I guess they think that Will can do it on his own. So they're watching from afar. Don Callis is too busy focused on Okada. And no offense, Okada doesn't need a shot at the International Championship. He needs to go for the AEW World Heavyweight Championship. What was I got? Will Ospreay. I got my popcorn ready, so you know this is going to be a banger of a match. Okay, you're the star of this show, but Yeah, I think a lot of people will Ospreay. But Mark Davis has been impressive that he can hold it down on his own. And I think ever since he joined the Don Callis family, he's starting to find his groove of it. I know he did lose his tag team partner, Jake Doyle, earlier in the year, but he's starting to show himself as a single star. He wrestled against John Moxley in an eliminator match for the Continental Championship, and now he's the reigning AEW National Championship. All right. Well, I love that Mark Davis is holding out on his own. Oh, Will and Alex hosted when the pandemic happened in the house. What would y'all see? Yep, Jeffrey, this is the main event. This is the final match before we wrap up Timeless Elite Wednesday. This is the main event. Mark Davis, Will Ospreay. I'm gonna be shocked if we had an appearance from either Swerve or Brody. Nice insecurity by Will Ospreay. I will say, since he aligned himself with the Death Riders, he's really starting to show he's a true aerial assassin. Like I said, I'm very curious on how this story is going to go with him and the Death Riders. Then it's like they're feuding with the Don Callis family, and then the conglomeration is feuding with the Don Callis family. So it's like, I know, 2 hours. See, time flies so fast when you're having fun and talking wrestling. And I'm happy I get to spend it with all of you on this Wednesday. And also make sure tickets are on sale now for AEW All In London. I heard it's going to be a big show. I'm going to try to see if I can fly out there to London. I would love to do media there for All In week because, you know, even if I didn't get approved for Double or Nothing, I would love to get approval for All In London because I think it's a once-in-a-lifetime opportunity, and that would be great. I mean, I can really care less for what those narcs want because some of them probably never watch AEW on a week-to-week basis, and they only watch it because of her. And they could care less about the women's division. That's just me. I appreciate all the women in that division. So, that's just me. Oh, what's the Ospreay doing? Oh, nice Hurricanrana. That was a nice one. And it's crazy. He's getting married later this month. So, him and Alex are getting married. Well, at least he's getting married before Forbidden Door. But Darby is getting married on my birthday. Well, it's not a surprise. I mean, it's going to be overrun anyway. And we're used to that. Ooh, well, Ospreay on the lower back. That has to hurt. Look at that replay. Oh, my God. I love that Mark Davis is holding out on his own. At least he's getting married. I think. Are you talking about Will or are you talking about Darby? Because they're both getting married this month. I understand that, Jeff Metterling. They did lose some talent, but also they have so much other talent that they can utilize. I'm just saying, they have so much other talent they can utilize, not just an AEW, but Ring of Honor. Well, hopefully they can walk down the aisle because they're getting married. Both of them are getting married later this month. And I can't wait. And I can't wait to see the wedding photos. I just want to see what they look like. Oh my God, Mark Davis. It looks like Will Ospreay's kind of Well, we're on picture in picture, but the match is still going on. So Mark Davis is on the feet. Oh, also another thing too. I didn't even mention this on Collision over the weekend, but the conglomeration and Death Riders, even though they were somewhat aligned, because not only they had to deal with the Don Callis family, you know, there was another person that got involved, Nigel McGuinness, because Nigel, if you saw Ring of Honor Survival of the Fittest, he has a number one contenders match for the pure Ring of Honor Championship match, which is currently owned by Lee Moriarty. Apparently, there was a little bit of a stare down because Lee Moriarty threw Wheeler Yuta onto Nigel, and Nigel wasn't happy, and Nigel actually took some bump, which is interesting because I'm still mad at Daniel Garcia because he called Nigel McGuinness a parasite. But pay attention to that because that's going to be very interesting with Lee Moriarty and Nigel McGuinness. And I know Shane Taylor was on commentary. I didn't appreciate the way he attacked Nigel McGuinness because the last time Lee Moriarty and Nigel met after the match happened, Shane Taylor just punched him in the face. And I'm like, really? Yes. Well, so Darby is getting married at the end of this month. I think because I remember he was doing like a media tour with Champion and he was talking to one of the local radio stations and he actually blurted out that he was getting married. So I was like, oh, that's cool. And it's so cool. Yeah, a few of them do have dual contracts. Like Thunder Rosa has a dual contract with AEW and CMLL. Same thing with Claudio. Claudio has a dual contract with AEW and CMLL, which I think is great because it opens up a lot of opportunities. Maybe we'll see Sting at Darby's wedding. Question is he going to have his face painted at the wedding? That is the question. But it has been a fun Dynamite. It's been a fun time with Sealy Wednesday. I will say it's been a solid episode of Dynamite. And we're back live with AEW Dynamite, doing Will Ospreay and Mark Davis. Whoever advances face off against the winner. Are we going to be wearing? Oh my God, Jeffrey. That is funny, Jeffrey. Well, like I said, this is going to be an interesting match. So get your popcorn ready. Yes, Jeff Betterling. Make sure to check out Friday because we're going to continue the King and Queen tournaments over on SmackDown. We know Obafemi advanced. We know Io Sky advanced. We know Finn Balor is now on the SmackDown brand So get ready. Well, Ospreay's not quitting. That's just how he is. That's just how he is. You know what would be really interesting with this story? I'm very curious if Will Ospreay wins the AEW World title. How is Jon Moxley and the Death Riders going to respond to that? I'm very curious. Because I feel like there is some layers. And also, could we see a potential title match happen before AEW Wembley Stadium? Could we see an AEW World title change hands? Oh, man. Ooh, Jeff. Will Ospreay kicking Mark Davis in the head. Well, Mark Davis is holding on to his own. That's impressive. So, Jeff Minderling, outside of Ty I'm actually interested in Persephone and Hazuki. This is the second time Hazuki will be on AEW television. I'm very excited to see those ladies go because whoever wins faces off against Mercedes, and she knows those two women very well. So it's not going to be an easy walk in the park. Oh, yes, Jeffrey, it is possible. We may see an AEW World title change because, like I said, we have Forbidden Door this month. We have the new pay-per-view in July, Redemption in Montreal. So obviously, of course, we're going to see an appearance from Kenny Omega because he's from Canada. I mean, what pay-per-view in Canada would you not have without Kenny Omega? Ooh, that was a nice move that Will Ospreay did. That was very impressive. I feel like since he's been training with the Death Riders, he's gotten stronger and stronger, not just physically, but mentally. Oh yeah, I do see Mercedes watching. She's be watching, and she's still heel. So like, have the rosters today. Oh, Jeffrey, that is very true. I mean, you gotta have all your Canadian stars in that July pay-per-view. Eh? Oh, I cracked myself up. Ooh, that was a nice move that Will Ospreay did. He's trying to put a submission hold. Oh my god, he put that submission hold! Oh, I thought he did, but Mark Davis is holding on. That's why they call him Dunkzilla. Oh man, that tombstone, and that was the reason Will Ospreay was out. It's going to be a fun and interesting road for Will Ospreay. Yeah, the big man he won't. See, Jeff Minderling, I'm so happy you're impressed by Mark Davis because I've been saying this for the last couple of months. Mark Davis has really been impressive in holding on his own in singles run. Even when his tag team partner Jake Doyle got injured, he's been holding himself. He's the reigning AEW national champion. I would like to see creative do something with him being national champion once they should do it during the tournament because I know when Jack Perry was champion, they had this national tour bus, which I thought was cool. Yeah. Ooh, that was a nasty cold time. Oh, wait. Oh my God, poor Mark Davis. That has to hurt on his back. He reminds me of an old school wrestler. See? Yeah, Mark Davis reminds you of that. I love that this is a banger of a match between these two. Love it. And Mark Davis trying to get out. You like in La La Land. Want to get in? And he finally got in before 10. Ooh, that was a nasty drop shake. Mark Davis. Will Ospreay did. Ooh, he's doing the Styles Clash on Mark Davis. Why would you take it over Jeffrey's looking out for that man's health. Quick kick out by Mark Davis. Jeffrey, you're just looking out for Will Ospreay's health. I love that this is their main event. Oh, nice move. Let's see. Oh, man, the referee's out. Woo! You know what that means. Hand blade, but there's no referee. Like you said, he's getting married. Trust me, him and Darby Allin are getting married this month. Oh, and here comes Trent Beretta and El Clone. And I feel like this is like a repeat from Saturday on Collision because there were just so much craziness between Takeshita and Daniel Garcia. It was like insanity. There was so much happening. So much in. Oh, there's Daniel Garcia. There's Wheeler Yuta. We haven't seen Claudio in a while. Unless he's doing work in CMLL. We haven't seen Claudio. Well, here comes Lance Archer. Just don't have Marina Shafir, because the last time Marina Shafir and Lance Archer met, she almost put him in an arm bar with that submission hold. Oh, there's Claudio. Because I was like, I didn't see Claudio last week. Well, on Saturday, I didn't see him. But it was either that or he's doing work on CMLL. Oh, there's Brian Cage. And then there's Pac. You don't want to mess with Pac because he's jacked. I wouldn't want to mess with Brian Cage either because he's very jacked. I know, a lot of outside interference. There goes Mark Davis. Ooh, that was really dope. Well, where's the referee? Where is the ref? Come on, get the referee in there. What? Oh, who dragged the referee? Oh, Jake Doyle. Oh, man. You got Will Ospreay. Well, of course, that's a tag team partner. You know, he's got to help his tag team partner. They got to stick together. And there's Marina Shafir. I know Marina can hold on to her own. Well, I know she can hold on to her own. She can take. I would not want to mess with Jake Doyle. I would not. Damn, she spit right in Jake Doyle's face. Oh, and there's John Moxley. Oh, man. Oh, Jeff Metterling. Have a little fun with him. You should have seen Marina Shafir when she took out some of the guys when they first started the Death Riders. And also with the fact, too. And I'll never forget on Collision. Hold on. Let me see this. Pac doing a moonsault. So much shenanigans outside the ring. It's like insanity. I will say this. When Marina first started on the Death Riders, she was taking out every single man possible. And with the fact as well, you would think she would be the one intimidated. But there was a few ladies in the back that were not intimidated by her. Obviously, Willow Nightingale was the first one to really step up to her. Chris Statlander. Because I would say Chris Statlander could hold her own because they face off against each other. Oh, and Kaya Fletcher. There is Kaya Fletcher. Of course. Yeah. Willow Nightingale, Chris Statlander, and Toni Storm were not afraid of her. And even Mina was not afraid. Actually, most of the ladies in the women's division were not scared of her. Oh, Lordy. He's got that screwdriver. Please don't let him do the same way he did with Dustin. Please don't let him be that way. Where's Takeshka? Oh, and there's Takeshka. And I think these guys are going to meet probably at Forbidden Door. And it'll probably lead up to like another round 2 segment at All in Wembley Stadium. Yeah, she was. But there was a few ladies in the division that could hold up to Marina Shafir. I know, it's kind of crazy because I thought they were heels. And I'm like, wait, are they face? Because I know Jon Moxley. They cheer for Jon Moxley. It's just wild. Ooh, Hidden Blade. Hidden Blade. Where's the referee? Where's the referee at? Get another referee. Oh no, kick out by. Yes, referee Bryce is here. I know. I know. It's like they could be heels in a heartbeat. Oh, God. Mark Davis. Okay, kick out. Takeshka. You did not want to go down. That's why I'm very curious what, especially if Ospreay wins it, I'm very curious what the Death Warriors are going to do. Because it's like 1 minute they go, because John, I could see possibly going babyface, but the rest of them I could see heels. Ooh, well, Ospreay putting in that. That's over. Mark Davis tapped out. Well, Ospreay is heading into the finals. Who's he gonna face at Forbidden Door? Will he be facing off against Swerve? Or will he be facing off against Brody? Oof. Oh boy, what a way to end Dynamite. Well, and you know it's crazy? He was in the same spot last year. And I'm going to tell you something. If Swerve advances, and when they do a promo together, I can see, bro. I'm going to tell you something. If Swerve makes it past Brody, I can imagine the promos that Will Ospreay and Swerve are going to do, because Swerve is going to probably bring up what happened last year at Double or Nothing. It's just going to be interesting. Thank you for catching. I know, right? Well, we shall see. Oh my goodness. Will wins. Well, we shall see. It's going to be very interesting if he does go all the way, what the Death Warriors are going to do. Because I feel like there is something brewing happening. But I like it. There's nothing wrong with that. Friendly reminder, this Saturday, Collision will be on Coast to Coast this Saturday live. But that wraps up Timeless Elite Wednesdays with me. It was definitely everything that hit it. Get you ready for the road for Forbidden Door. Obviously, Will Ospreay advancing in the men's tournament. And Mercedes Moné made her return to AEW programming in the tournament, which obviously makes sense because she is the reigning Owen Hart Cup women's winner from last year. So she has to defend her title. She has to defend her title and really keep that going. But she is home. But also, I still want to see her and Camille. I feel like her and Camille have something. There needs to be a payoff with her and Camille. So I definitely want to see that. But Mercedes is advancing. Obviously, of course, we know the remaining matches. This Saturday, Hazuki will be facing off against Persephone in the Owen Hart Cup Women's Tournament. Ain't nothing little. Jeffrey. And also next week, we have our final matches. Brody King, Swerve Strickland, and also Sari from Stardom will be facing off against Sky Blue. I kind of want some. I know people are rooting for Mercedes, but I would like for someone from Stardom to win the tournament only because just to piss off Tekla, because she called out the president of Stardom and she says that she will kick the crap out of them if they ever made a return. So I wouldn't mind seeing somebody from Stardom. That would be pretty hilarious to watch. But it obviously would be fascinating as well. So yeah, that would be really funny if someone from Stardom, because then it's like, okay, you got a story arc, you can do it. I want for 7B to win just for that. Oh, Jeffrey. Yeah, I know exactly. That could really put a lot of fuel to the fire to that, because I wouldn't mind seeing someone, and that'd be ooh. And also, if it did happen, this is something that AEW can crack the code with that WWE didn't do. You get to introduce an Asian audience, and especially you have people in the Asian world that can be big stars, and that's something WWE didn't do. Like, you could try to do it with Takeshita on the men's side. You can also do it, like, obviously you're doing it with Mina Shirokana because she's very popular, and you're having your top tier stars from Stardom come into the US for AEW television. So we shall see on that. Tekla, I'm starting to like you, but you dissed. Oh, Lordy, this is not going to end. And we saw Mark Briscoe have action with Lio Rush. It was a really great match between them two. And also, Mark Briscoe is making a case. He wants that AEW world title. But MJF is like, I'm not having it, but Mark Briscoe is going to tear it down. But I'm going to say, and I'm pretty sure some people in WWT Live and some narcs won't agree with this, I think that was one of Mark Briscoe's best promos that he did since he's been in AEW, because it shows that he's very serious. He's one of their top baby faces in AEW, and he just really went unfiltered with MJF. And I love it when he gets serious. I love it when he gets mad, because we get to see another side of Mark Briscoe, which I love to see. And it's just the evolution, the character, and the growth. And I just love it. Obviously, of course, we kicked off with the AEW World Title. Obviously, it was chaos. It was mayhem. It was pretty much anything you could do, I could do better. But MJF won. As usual, the jerk won. So my investigation regarding Toni Storm did have a little bit of a speed bump, but we are going to revamp it because we do have a lot of suspects. And it's going to be very interesting. And I'm excited. I'm very, very excited to see. So, but it was a very good, solid episode. I was very happy to see it. Yeah, it's going to be very interesting with that. Also, like I said, Alex Windsor, my gal, she did great. So we shall see on that. Well, we shall see. Because Detective Courtney's on the case on who attacked Toni Storm. And I got a few suspects in mind. I got some suspects in mind because we're going to take a trip to the movies next week. We got summer blockbusters happening next week. But we shall see on that. And it was a solid episode. It did what it needed to do. I give it a solid 8.5 out of 10. Did what it needed to do. And oh yeah, we did see the dogs. And they interviewed and they interacted with the Young Bucks because apparently the Young Bucks can't stay away from AEW Tag Team Gold. I just feel like they need to be 4-time. Yeah, they should do something like, yeah, they should. They should, but we shall see on that. So, Detective Courtney's on the case because she has some episodes in, but it looks like Young Bucks just can't stay away from the tag team titles. It's like they really want them to be 4-time tag team champions, but I don't know who knows how long FTR is going to be out, because of course we have to make sure they're included. We have to make sure FTR and the Young Bucks are included in an AEW tag team title match. Yay! So that's just me being sarcastic, but hopefully we do see Edge and Christian come back next week or the week after. I'm hoping they do. But that wraps up Timeless Elite Wednesday with me, because I'm getting some rest. I hope you guys had fun and enjoyed the watch along. It's always fun every Wednesday. Like, I know people say CEO Wednesdays, but to me, it's Timeless Elite Wednesdays, because I got the keys. I know what I'm doing. I'm the timeless one, so it is Timeless Elite Wednesdays. Every Wednesday, it will be Timeless Elite Wednesdays with me as we continue the road trip to Forbidden Door, which is later this month. You can follow me on my socials at Courtney NJ11 on Twitter and Instagram. I do have some content happening. I will be on the ground this Saturday for Deanna Perrazzo and Steve Macklin's event in New Jersey. I'm very excited to get media coverage on that. Super, super excited. And also, it's going to be an interesting summer of wrestling for the Timeless one, because Philly's got some cool wrestling events. MLW will be at the 2300 Arena next weekend. We also have NWA coming next month. We have TNA coming at the end of next month. So yeah, I'm going to be pretty much all over the place. Make sure to follow ISBW Wrestling, because we do have a lot of good shows happening. Obviously, the big one in July in Wildwood, that will be the Headbangers' final match before they hang up their boots for good. You do not want to miss it. But obviously, shout out to the rest of the crew on WWT, because we're all doing amazing things. Want to make this channel bigger and better than ever. Also, I do have content from 80s Wrestling Con. My interview with Bronwyn Billington, the daughter of the the daughter of the Dynamite Kid, will be out shortly. I'm also going to post my interview with Dave LaGreca from Busted Open. Wonderful interview. That's something you do not want to miss. But thank you all for joining with me. Just shout out to everybody. Jeff Metterling, Boza, Eddie Foster, Jeffrey, for being on this chat. I've said this many times. Granted, AEW is not everybody's cup of tea. I get it. They do have some things and hiccups they got to work on, but slowly but steady, they're getting there in year number 7. And obviously, of course, you're going to have some fickle fans come in because of the situation with WWE and all that stuff. But just watch an episode of AEW. And if you don't want to watch it week to week, you can watch either the Owen Hart Cup tournament of the men and women, or you can watch the Continental Classic, which is the end of the year. So you have options. Or you can watch any of the pay-per-views. That's just a thought in there. But I'm getting ready to wrap up. So thank you all for spending time with me and supporting Women's Wrestling Talk, the number 1 women's wrestling network on the planet. Have a great evening, and I will see you on Friday.
Thanks for joining WWT. Don't forget to like us on all social media platforms at WW Talk Pod. Like and subscribe on all video and audio platforms like yesterday, my G. And check out our website at www.talkpod.com. Thanks for watching Women's Wrestling Talk, the number 1 women's wrestling network on the planet.